Good evening, and welcome to Educate Our Youth. Our guest this evening is Dr. Amy Firestone, Vice President of Apprenticeship Carolina for the South Carolina Technical College System. My name is Janet Thompson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Mae McKeith and Allie Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. Our mission of Educate Our Youth is to make college more accessible through education, mentoring, professional development, and other means available to students by offering programs such as ACT and SAT workshops, tour college campuses, and assist with applying for financial aid and financial literacy. So good evening, Amy. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. Good evening to everybody.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I am the Vice President for the Division of Apprenticeship Carolina, and I'll tell you a little bit about Apprenticeship Carolina, I'm sure, in a few moments. But I'm actually originally from Washington, D.C. area, and I moved to South Carolina to help work with all the colleges and K-12 on developing apprenticeship programs, which is what we'll talk about today. So while I'm new to the state, I'm here to help grow more opportunities for the young people.
Oh, great. Sounds very interesting. So, who is Apprenticeship Carolina?
Yes, so we are a division within the South Carolina Technical College System, and I'm sure you all are familiar with the different technical colleges in the state. There are 16 of them, and we are a team that works across the state. We work with companies, with the technical colleges, and with the secondary schools on developing apprenticeships. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those in a few minutes, but that's essentially who we are.
Okay, I worked with Horry Georgetown Tech before my retirement, and it was up until 2 years ago that I heard about Apprentice Carolina. Wasn't familiar. I wished I'd known about you guys when I was working at Tech, because I worked with high school students, and our goal was to get them into colleges and junior colleges. But this would have been a perfect program also, had I known. Are you familiar? Do you go into Horry Georgetown Technical College?
Definitely. Horry Georgetown Tech is one of our 16 colleges, and we have a lot of momentum right now in the area. There are hospitality companies, manufacturing, and other companies that are very interested in working with young people on the apprenticeship program, because as we know, having that pathway in high school and after high school graduation to a full-time job is really what everybody dreams about.
So if I had a teenager, how can I get him involved with this? Do you recruit students, or does the college recruit the students? How does the students become aware of this program, and how do they get involved or sign up for it?
Sure. So Horry Georgetown Technical College is definitely the place where these programs are led. So I would say first and foremost, check with your local technical college. They usually have a webpage, and Apprenticeship Carolina, we're actually building more information on our webpage so anyone in the state can look for opportunities. So that will be coming soon, but definitely the technical colleges are helping lead this.
Okay. So what's the mission for Apprentice Carolina?
Definitely. Well, our mission has been evolving because, as we know, the state is changing, the country is changing, and we need to ensure that we are meeting everybody's needs. But we are working collaboratively with companies on developing pathways to post-secondary education and employment through apprenticeships. And these apprenticeship programs are with the U.S. Department of Labor, which means that any program that we help develop and market and implement is tied to a U.S. Department of Labor credential, as well as academic credits and other certifications.
Okay, sounds great. So you have a team of different departments. Can you explain those teams and how do they affect the program?
Sure. So the apprenticeship program is an earn while you learn program. And so there are different pieces that it involves in terms of development. So we have a team of apprenticeship consultants, and these are staff members who are working with all the technical colleges in the state to develop that program and connect with the technical colleges and companies. So we have apprenticeship consultants on our team. We have program coordinator, and we also have folks who help us administer our grants, because we have right now more than $11.5 million in grants for the state of South Carolina for apprenticeships.
So describe what an apprenticeship look like.
Sure. So an apprenticeship is very different from other programs, from internships, job shadowing, other programs that you all may be more familiar with, but it's earn and learn. So when an individual, whether you're a high school student, you're in college, or maybe you're in your 30s and 40s and you're looking for the next promotion, the apprenticeship helps you learn on the job with a mentor while you're learning in school, whether it's in high school or in college or in other classes, what you need to know on the job. So what you're learning is reinforced with what you're going to do at work. So you're paid and you receive college credits, other credentials, and you're on a pathway to obtain full-time employment while you study.
Okay. So before I get too far into questions, can you give me some history about Apprenticeship Carolina?
Definitely. So Apprenticeship Carolina was formed back in 2007, which seems like a long time ago right now. But it was a rather small team, and its focus was really to help companies with developing registered apprenticeships with the U.S. Department of Labor. And so the state legislature, working with the Chamber in South Carolina and other partners, looked to create Apprenticeship Carolina as a very important part of the technical college system to meet the needs of companies and the technical college's training programs. So with that, we've now been in existence for a while, and just recently, last year, we became a permanent division within the technical college system.
So how many students across the state are involved with apprenticeship?
Well, we like to brag, but we have almost 14,000 individuals in the state, youth and adults, who are in apprenticeship programs right now. So that's a pretty big number, and we're very excited about that.
And how about programs, companies that's involved?
So we have a little over 1,075 companies in the state, and that's a very impressive number, because we have companies in hospitality industry, manufacturing, healthcare, public service, energy. Really, every company in South Carolina has seen apprenticeships as an exciting opportunity to bring in talent.
How about here in Horry County? Do you have a program here?
Yes, we do have programs, and I'll say right now we're experiencing some growth. So it's been a little bit slower to start, but Horry Georgetown is going to be part of our youth apprenticeship initiative for the state, in which we will grow this program in the Horry Georgetown County. So very excited about that.
So can you describe the day in the life of a student apprentice, and if they enter the program, what is the process that they will go through? Sure.
So youth apprentices, while they go to school during the day, they will have different hours for their work schedule. So they might attend their high school and take a few classes at the local technical college, but during summer break, winter break, and sometimes in the evening, they'll get to work directly for the company, they'll get paid, and they'll also have a mentor at the company who will help ensure that they're being successful, meeting all the different requirements for the program. And their program will be structured in a way that it's not too stressful, that their classes are scheduled and their work schedule all fits together. So that's essentially how it's packaged together, and there's a lot of flexibility there.
Okay. So what is a registered apprenticeship program?
Sure. So it is a fully structured program, and apprentice, which is anyone 16 and up, has the opportunity, as I mentioned, to earn and learn. So they're completing roughly 2,000 hours of on-the-job training, and that's working at a company with that mentor that I mentioned, and approximately 144 hours of classroom training, which is at the technical college combined with high school. There can be a lot of variety there. And so that apprenticeship program includes many different tasks that the individual needs to complete. So as somebody is working in that program, they're getting more skills, and the company gives them at least one pay increase during their apprenticeship, no matter if they're 16 or 50. The age doesn't matter. The company is required to give at least one pay increase. And when the apprentice finishes, they receive a national credential from the U.S. Department of Labor, as well as I mentioned, those college credits, any industry certifications, and really any other certificates the college can offer. So there's a lot of opportunities just in that one experience. And most companies are very, very pleased with the progress of the apprentices and want to hire them full time.
So you said one pay increase. Is that a pay increase for the duration of their employment in that apprenticeship, or how does that work? I mean, explain that for me, please.
Sure. So all of the companies are required to indicate what that one pay increase will look like, and every company can decide that, but at least one. Some companies might want to do multiple increases throughout the apprenticeship.
Okay. I guess it's based on how well that person works in that apprenticeship program in that position.
Definitely, but everyone's guaranteed at least one increase because the goal is that the apprentice is always learning with the mentor there to ensure that they're learning what they need to be successful.
Okay, so the youth apprenticeship is ages 16 to 18, or I thought it was any older. Can they get any older than 18, maybe 24, is it, or?
Yeah, so traditionally we work with high school students on our youth apprenticeship program, but as I mentioned, we have new opportunities with funding that will allow perhaps students who are out of school, adult ed students, to participate as well. So more information will be coming soon on that.
Okay. So you have other registered programs. What's JRE? I see OJT is on job training. What's the JRE? What's the acronym for that?
Yeah, good question. That's job-related education. So those are those courses at the technical college, at high school, at a career and technology center that the apprentice must take to learn those theoretical concepts. So they understand what they're learning in the textbook and then how it applies to the regular workday.
Okay, and the national industry recognized credentials, that means, what does that mean for the viewers?
Exactly, that's the U.S. Department of Labor credential that every apprentice, if they're successful, they'll receive this credential. And, maybe they're an apprentice in Myrtle Beach, but they decide that they want to move to a different part of the state. They have that credential with them, and the employers see that as a competent individual who has mastered all of those skills under that occupation.
Okay. And as far as the grants that comes in, does the grant come to your program through the technical college system, or these grants assist with the industry? How does that work?
So we actually have a lot of opportunities and we're just diving into them now. As I mentioned at the beginning, we received about 11.5 million in apprenticeship funds from the U.S. Department of Labor. And with those funds, we'll actually be hiring a youth apprenticeship coordinator who will be at Horry Georgetown Technical College. So we'll have new staff there to support all the new programs. But the funds do come to Apprenticeship Carolina, and we work with the technical colleges on the scholarships available to students. We have over $5 million available in scholarships, other funds available for supportive services. So that will help apprentices who have financial barriers, whether it be transportation, childcare, uniforms, other supplies that aren't covered. We hope to be able to serve everybody through the program.
That sounds great. So the person at Horry Georgetown Tech will be funded through your program and just house that tech, or will tech be responsible for?
Yes, so they'll be funded. The new coordinator focused on youth apprenticeship, will be funded through our grants.
Okay. Sounds good. I sure wish you were there 4 years ago. Yeah. So what are the benefits?
Well, you can always come back.
Yes. Well, no, not now. Tell me, what are the benefits of having a registered apprenticeship?
Sure. So there's multiple benefits. I'll start with the apprentice maybe. So especially if you're, a high school student, or let's say you're in college. I know a lot of us have thought, okay, what do we want to be when we grow up? Or why are we studying, this field? However, the apprenticeship really brings to us a little bit more meaning to what we're studying, because we're able to study things that actually matter for a real-time job. So what it does is give us the opportunity to not just work, in a random job, but to work in something that we can later learn about in the classroom and vice versa. So we can also see what we're reading in the textbooks and see how that applies when we're working. And also not just, this educational experience, but there's actually real employment tied to these opportunities. And not just am I looking at a future job, but I'm getting paid to actually learn with a mentor. And I'm earning all different types of credentials and also college credits. So maybe when I'm in high school, I already have credits ready to complete my associate's degree. So as an apprentice, there are so many benefits to go through this program.
So do you think the apprenticeship help increase productivity and maybe reduce turnovers on the jobs?
Definitely, and that's exactly what the employers would really gain out of this experience. And we've done some studies to understand that apprentices stay at a company longer than your average employee. The program does reduce turnover for companies, and employees are more productive because having that mentor available, you're really helping educate, people who are learning about your company, about the culture, and why they should stick with you, and the support that you're going to provide to them over long term. So it's that investment in the individual that we know is hard to come by with a lot of jobs. And companies have really adopted this program. As I mentioned, over 1,075 companies in South Carolina have seen the benefits.
So how does state tax credits benefit, and who does the state tax credit benefit? Does it benefit I would assume the company?
Yes, all the companies that have a registered apprenticeship program can take advantage of the state tax credit, and that would be $1,000 per apprentice over 4 years.
Over 4 years?
Correct.
Okay, that's pretty good, pretty good. So what is the standardized skills for an apprentice program?
Sure. So when a company decides to register a program, they come up with an on-the-job training list. And those are those essential tasks that they need for the employee to master as an apprentice, so that way they can enter a full-time job and already know all of those skills and have those competencies. So with that program, any apprentice, let's say, it's a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, somebody from this part of the state or another part of the state, as long as they're following that apprenticeship program plan, all of the employees are getting the same training. The training is, like I said, standardized. Everybody should walk away with the same skill set in order to be successful.
Okay. Does companies seek you out, or do y'all seek out companies?
At this point, after being around since 2007, it's a little bit of both. I'll say, personally, I get emails from companies that just see our information online. But we do a lot of events for companies around the state, focusing on different industries. So there's a lot of both.
Wait, so why is it required, why is the registered apprenticeship a beneficial workplace strategy?
Yes, I think the things that we were talking about in terms of for companies that reduce turnover and having employees who are not just trained at the company, but also have all the knowledge they learn in the classroom, and combining both of those really prepares somebody to be successful, because they're not just in a classroom, wondering, oh, how does this machine work? But they're actually getting to practice it. And so that makes somebody, not even just more engaged in what they're learning, but it makes them more excited and interested. So having that investment from the company is really a part of a company's long-term plan.
I guess, in other words, it allows the companies to grow their own employees, and also, I guess, from going into a company as an apprentice and staying on as an employee can also help with retirement, because that could be a lifelong job within that company.
Exactly. And a lot of companies are looking at that, because with a lot of folks retiring, they really need to work with high school students and younger individuals on training them and developing them from the early stages, so that way they will stick with them long term.
Yeah, so I guess you can look at this as an alternative to a traditional 4-year path pathway instead of 4 years of college for those students that may not be interested in college for 4 years or might can't afford college for 4 years. This would be an alternative to that.
Definitely. And for some individuals, maybe college is there, but maybe not right away. So doing an
Yeah.
apprenticeship will help them get the skills they need. And maybe down the road, the company will say, yeah, we'll pay for your college. We want to keep you around. So this apprenticeship offers so many different opportunities, no matter where anybody is with their education and their work.
Okay. We'll go back to your team a minute. Do you have grant administrators? I guess they handle all the grants that comes into your company. To do they
Yes.
assist with external grants as far as if how I want to term this now? If a company wanted to bring in more workers or more apprentices, would they come to you and find out about how to apply for the grant, or would this grant would it help them, whatever grants that's available? Would you let us share the grants that's available? Do you have to show them how to apply for grants? Or is this something that they would research on their own?
Yeah, so we have a very comprehensive process for the grants. And with the
Okay.
new grants we just received, we're gonna have a few launches coming up soon to discuss kind of all the different pieces. So the technical colleges are really best equipped to answer, any questions regarding how this funding can
Okay.
be applied. But yeah, we do have a very comprehensive process to ensure that we can help as many people in the state as possible with the funds we have.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you could share with us as far as Carolina Apprentice Carolina? I'm sorry, I put it backwards, didn't I? In reference to recruiting students, and if I want a child to get involved with this, and maybe they're not set up at Tech right now, is the program in place at any other technical colleges, like say
So
Williamsburg or something that's close by?
yeah, so Williamsburg Technical College has several apprenticeship programs, and they also have a youth apprenticeship program. So they are very active, and there are opportunities growing there as we speak. I think this fall and early 2021, we'll see a lot more opportunities coming out with our new grants and with companies getting ready to look at their hiring. Despite the COVID period, I think we see some more momentum at least in August. So I think that's wonderful for everybody. But
Right.
I would say any questions you have about apprenticeships, if you want to know how that applies to you, how you can get more information, please just reach out to us on our webpage. We do have a contact us link, and on there you can find which local representative from our team, which consultant can answer your questions, whether you're in the Williamsburg Tech area or closer to Horry Georgetown, or you have family members in other parts of the state. We have somebody serving every single part of the state. So I encourage you just to look there, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have and connect you to the right folks.
What is your website?
So it's www.apprenticeshipcarolina.com.
Okay. So, in other words, I mean, if anybody, well, you said that Tech will be on board this coming 2021 school term, or Georgetown Tech?
Yeah, so they're getting up and running now. I think they have a few new apprenticeships, I think mostly for adults that have just begun. So just get in touch with us if you're interested. But there's going to be a lot more momentum as we get our grants rolled out. And we're excited to have the Horry Georgetown area become more involved.
Yes, I'm excited about that myself, because I do see some of my students from time to time that might be entering in the adult version or the apprenticeship program. And for any young high school student, I certainly will pass the information on to their parents and to them about your program. I think it's a great thing, especially in the area, and also if a child can't make their mind up as to what they want to do in life, this at least will give them an idea. And it could also be if they get involved in an apprenticeship program and realize, well, I really don't want to do that. I might want to go to school. I mean, either way, I think it benefits the students.
I I agree. And we're looking to be innovative and help meet needs in the community. So please, any ideas that you all have, we're in a time of innovation with Apprenticeship Carolina. We're here to learn from you all and connect. So please reach out, and I'd love to learn how we can help support you.
I really appreciate that, and I'm so happy that you came on today. And we do have your website, and I will and this will be aired. So if anyone interested, they will contact you, hopefully. So appreciate it. Enjoy this afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. It was a pleasure to be part of your show this evening, and
Right.
I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Hopefully you will. Thank you.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye, everybody.